There is nothing about this book that I do not absolutely adore. I started watching Full House for the first time back in March at the beginning of lockdown, so about 7 months now. And as soon as it finished, like 8 seasons, I got to the end of it and thought, what now? So I went to the internet, did some searching, and found Full Circle by Andrea Barber and also Jodie Sweetin's books, Unsweetened, which I've previously discussed. And Full Circle is the one that I've just finished today, and I'm ridiculously excited at how much I loved it. I read it in 2 sittings, well, 2.5. I think I read the first chapter itself in 1 sitting and then the rest in 2 sittings. But I'm also very sad because it's over. But I love this for 2 reasons. Well, no, that's a lie. 3 reasons. The third reason is very superficial. The visual presentation of this book is stunning. The hardback design is beautiful. The colour scheme they've used is gorgeous. Obviously, the cover artwork is beautiful. It's published by Citadel, and this is a US edition. I don't believe it was ever published by any UK publisher, so I think you can only get it online, in the UK at least. But it's absolutely worth it, and it's not expensive, even if it is an import. It's standard book price. And the other 2 reasons I love this is that, one, it's honest and not your stereotypical celebrity memoir, and I use that word loosely for quite a prominent reason, and I'll discuss that in a moment. And the third reason is that it's so beautifully written. Barber studied literature. She is a brilliant writer. Obviously, I can't vouch for how much of this has been edited by the publishing team, but you can tell that it's her voice, those are her words, and there are so many aspects of this that I want to quote. There are so many times, especially when it gets very raw, that I just want to lift the sentences out and tattoo them to my whole body because they're so inspiring. So this, I won't spoil any of the more severe parts. I won't go into any detail about the rawness of the emotions, but I will say that it does feel very honest. It's quite conversational. So as Barbara is talking to us, it does feel like we're just having a casual conversation. It does get quite serious, but it feels like it's a friend talking to a friend. There's no reason to feel like it's superficial or they're exaggerating things. It just feels like an honest account of what happened. And it does start, the tagline for this, or the subtitle if you like, is From Hollywood to Real Life and Back Again, hence the full circle. Barber started acting at a very young age. She went on to be Kimmy Gibbler, and then she disappeared from Hollywood, and she went on to live a very, shall we say, normal life. I was very excited to learn that she did a year of studying in York, in the north of England. Me having lived a lot of my life in the northeast of England, I like that a lot. I would have been living in the northeast of England at the same time. I've been to York. Maybe I saw her. Who knows? It's very unlikely. But it takes us through that, and then her getting married and having children, and then it obviously concludes with Fuller House. And being a fan of both Full House and Fuller House, those bookends are brilliant. I love them. But being somebody with mental health issues, depression, anxiety, OCD, all of this dominating rubbish that is debilitating, but it's life. Barbara discusses her mental health, mostly anxiety and postpartum depression, in very honest detail, and I really applaud her for that, because not everybody would. And she still manages to make it very entertaining. There are 1 or 2 moments where it's completely to the point, and you can't get any amusement out of it. It is raw, it is honest, it is real. But for the most part, she manages to keep it light enough while still divulging her feelings that you just don't feel severely depressed by the end of it. It's still an enjoyable read, but it's all the more poignant because of her emotions that have been very heavily weaved throughout of this. It's a beautiful book. Do you need to have watched Full House or Fuller House to read this? It would help. because otherwise you probably wouldn't know what 40, maybe even 50% of the book's about. But if you are somebody who struggles with mental health issues or anything like that, then I think the middle section of the book you'd find really helpful and very inspiring, and could maybe make you just feel like you're not so alone in the world. And for that, I completely commend her for every word she's written, because it's beautiful. It's a really beautiful book. As I said, visually, it's absolutely stunning. I love it. It's so well published. It's so well designed. I don't know if I can very quickly, I've got the book next to me, very quickly find the name of the cover artist. Sometimes they're written in somewhere obvious. I can't immediately find it. But I will say that it is published by Citadel Press, which is part of the Kensington Publishing Corp, and you can find out more at kensingtonbooks.com. And, oh, here we go. The front jacket photo is by Melissa Coulier Creative, and the jacket design is by Christine Mills. So, yes, credit to both of those people. It's absolutely beautiful. Obviously, the biggest credit is to Barber herself, because it's a stunning read. I couldn't put it down. I regret having finished it in a way, because I felt a lot of myself in it. Not the acting in Hollywood part, of course, but the rest of it, I felt like she was speaking to me. It was very much a conversation. If you haven't read it, I thoroughly recommend you do. It's absolutely beautiful, and you will love it.